Hi, this is Mansoor Khan, and I'll be your instructor for this course. If you followed along, we know now how to create projects in Java. And this screencast will learn a little bit about data types available in Java. The two categories of data types available in Java are primitive and reference. So we'll learn about the primitive data types available. Let's go to the official docs. That's docs.oracle.com, and we have the primitive data types and the number of data types that are in this category. So we can see here there are total 8 primitive data types that Java supports currently. There's byte, then short, int, long, float, then double, then boolean, and then char. Let's go through each of them separately. Now, byte data type, its ranges from -128 to +127. So this is generally used to store marks of a student out of 100 or something like that. Then we have, if we need to store bigger values, larger values, and we go for short. Its range, as you can see, from -32,768 to +32,767. Generally used to store, say, the number of students in a school or things like that. Then for even bigger values, then we have int here. This ranges from -2 to the power 31 to +2 to the power 31 minus 1. That's roughly -2 billion to +2 billion. So you can use it to store salaries of persons or things like that. Then we have, for even bigger values, we have long data type here, and this is its range is -2 to the power 63 to +2 to the power 63 minus 1. So this is used to store salaries of people who are earning more than 2 billion maybe, or say more importantly the scientific values, which are larger, larger numeric values, things like that. Then we have float and double. Now these two data types are used to store the decimal values, and float is the how shall I put it, it's a single precision data type. That means it can store up to 6 decimal places of values. If you need to store more than 6 decimal places, go for double. Then we have boolean. Now boolean data type has it can store only 2 possible values, that is true and false. Can't have any other value. So it is just used in flags, and when you need to indicate whether a particular condition occurred or it doesn't occur. So used to raise flag, stores true and false. These are 2 reserved values, true and false. Then we have char. Now char is used to store a single character and a single code. We can't have any more than one character in a char variable. And here the default values of all the data types, byte, short, int, all have 0 as the default value. Then long, 0L. Now capital L or small l here represents, that's a long value. Float, 0.0f, you need to put a small f or a capital F to differentiate it from double. Float and double, that's the distinction. And double, 0.0d. and char, this is the char equivalent of 0. String. Now string is not actually a data type, as many of you have wrongly assumed. It's an object. If you've noticed here, it starts with capital S. That means it's a class. We create objects of a string class. It's not a data type. Its default value anyways is none. Then we have boolean, whose default value is false. So let's see how these perform in action. Let's create a class, say data type. Let's wipe these things out. Class with the same name, public static void main. We all know what it means. Then a string of array of strings. Now this is how we store values in a byte variable, say this. Then we have short here, say b is equal to 12,000. And then we have int c is equals to 12. Then we have the long here 70, say even bigger values for float. Now when you remember this, when you're initializing a float variable, you need to put a small f or a capital F at the end of the constant value that you're providing, because that's what differentiates it from a double value. Say here we can write say 23.45 and more than 6 values. Now we don't need to put a D here. You can put it, it won't be wrong, but it's optional. By default the decimal values are of double type. So say for example in an expression you're writing, say let's print it out. Say if you're printing 3.4 into 4, then this value here is by default interpreted as double type. If you need to make it float, put a small f here. Okay, so now let's say create a character variable. This is how you store a character variable. Capital A is generally used to access the characters from a string. Then we have boolean, generally used as a flag. Its default value is false. You can put it true or false or anything. You can have it as false. See, it's color coded. That means this is a reserved word, false. Same is true. So these are the data types that we use here in Java. In the next tutorial we'll learn next about looping.